Hey there. I'm Coach Bill with Meditate School of Mindfulness. We're located in the Wilton Manors part of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I want to introduce you to what we do. Of course, what we do is we teach and share the practice of meditation and mindfulness in very deep ways. We are all about sharing our passion for this amazing tool that we can use to be more present in our life, to overcome so many things. Meditation, in and of itself, is a simple practice, but we tend to have overcomplicated it. It's an ancient practice. It's not New Age. It's not something that is a fad. It has been around for centuries and it has endured because it works when it is practiced. We teach the practice. Many people come to us wanting to learn the practice, but I will say practice 100 times. I'll probably say it 1,000 times in a day because it's all about practice. Meditation isn't going to work when you just sit once or twice. You need to make it part of your life. It's like working out. It's like exercising. Doing it once or twice isn't going to make a difference. But when you start making it a practice, it will transform your life in ways that is so profound. I can't even express it. I have such a passion for it. In the decades I've been working with people as a life coach, as a transformational coach, I found the best tool that I could share with each and every client, whether they were dealing with an addiction, a relationship issue, PTSD, or whatever else is going on in their life. The best tool I could share was meditation because it brings people into the present. And to transform our life, we must be present. We can't change the past. We can't predict the future, so we need to focus on where it is we are right now. What's going on in our life right now, and how am I going to respond to it? We can't control our circumstances always, but we can choose how we respond to it. So most of us are so caught up in the noise and distractions of our lives that we forget to be present. We're stuck in our head. Meditation gives us the opportunity to create some space. And I like to teach what it is truly a practice of heartfulness. With practice, over time, we start to get out of our head. We start to observe our thoughts as just thoughts. We start to see our emotions and identify that they are there, but not define ourselves by them. And we start sinking down into what I call a practice of heartfulness, where we make our decisions from the intentions of our heart rather than the expectations and judgments of our mind or by the people outside. With practice, it's like we start to sink below the surface where all of our thoughts are like waves going by, or our emotions are like currents, and we can sink further below the surface and we can start focusing on what it is we want to do. And then we realize we get to choose which thoughts we take action in. We get to choose how to respond to those emotions. We can either grab onto a thought, and if we don't let go of it, it will carry us away until it's a tsunami. We can get caught up into it in an emotion until we start living our life being defined by that emotion, or we can sink down and watch. And when we watch, we start to see that everything is always changing, that a thought is just a thought, that an emotion is an emotion, but we can be in this place of calm peace, and we can move through our life with that. And when we start living our life that way, we start moving through our life with intention. It's one thing to have goals, but if our goals aren't aligned with our intentions, then by the time we reach our goals, we won't be happy. True happiness comes from within. True transformation comes from within. So meditation in and of itself is a self-centered practice where we start focusing on ourselves, but that doesn't mean we are selfish, because when we start feeding ourselves, when we start nurturing ourselves and giving ourselves this spiritual food, then we can share from that place. When we start aligning ourselves and start loving ourselves, respecting ourselves, being kind to ourselves, then we are more able to share kindness and respect and love with the people around us. And the truth of our practice is that what we practice grows stronger. It's very simple. We can ask ourselves each and every day, what am I practicing today? Am I practicing impatience? If that's what I'm practicing, then I'm going to start being more and more impatient each and every day. Am I practicing anger? Am I practicing getting caught up in these noises and notifications that come up on my devices? Being told who I should fear, who I should look at as the enemy? Or should I practice being present in my life and making my choices presently without all those distractions. Getting back to this place where we align ourselves with the truth. The truth is in our heart. Our mind is a great fiction writer. It can tell you all these different stories and it will justify every one of them. But our heart, it doesn't lie. If we listen to the whispers of our heart, it moves us in the direction of gratitude. And when we move through our life with gratitude, we find that that is the key to happiness. There's always something to be grateful for. And we start moving through our life and saying, what am I grateful for today? And all of a sudden we start seeing all the other things in our life we could be grateful for or should be grateful for. When we start living our life of compassion, we start looking at each other from that place of compassion and understand that is another being just like me trying to go through their life and find happiness and joy. We might not agree with each other. I might not like that person, but I can see them as another being like me, and I don't have to fear them or hate them. Come from this place of respect. I can hold myself in compassion. I can understand the practice of forgiveness should be part of our life because without forgiveness, we carry darkness inside. And when we carry that anger and darkness, then how do we move forward in peace? When we practice that there is joy in our lives, right here in our heart, we can share joy with the world. And when we practice moving through our life, connected to the truth that we are beings of love, at the very core of who we are, no matter what your practice is, whether it's a religious practice or not, we are beings of love. And when we align ourselves with that truth, then we start acting from that place. And when we start acting from that place, then all of a sudden the light of our heart shows us the way forward. This is what the practice will teach us, but it takes a while to get there. A lot of us have a lot of things to unwind. It's like, I like to teach that we all have this light inside, this light in our heart. It's an authentic light, and it has been there since the time we were created. As we grow older, as we start to age, from the moment we were born, people start putting their opinions on us. We start hearing these expectations and judgments, and all of a sudden we start judging and expecting ourselves to be different. And so that light gets covered up. Society starts telling us this is how we should look or this is how we should think, and that light gets covered up. And with all the noise and all the stuff that gets put into our life, all the good and the bad, all the happy and the sad, that light gets covered up. I like to teach that every time you sit in meditation, it's like you're finally pulling back those layers. And it takes practice. It takes work to get back to that light. It's there, but the more layers you pull off, the more that light starts shining, and the more you start walking in your truth, and you start being present in your life as it is, and you get to this place of peaceful acceptance of everything that's happened in your life up until this day has made you who you are. You might not like it, but you can't change it. So when you get to this place of acceptance, then you can decide what you're going to do next. That's your choice. Where am I going to go next? But you need to be present. And when you get to that place of peaceful acceptance in presence, then you're standing on a solid foundation from which to change. But you need to practice. And that's what we teach. We give you all the tools that you need. When we started practicing this 3 years ago, we only held 30-minute meditations a few times a day. Now we hold courses and certifications. We train teachers in the practices. We teach life coaches. We certify others to go out and share this practice. I proudly say that we have taught people from almost every state in this country and from other countries to share this practice. This is my passion, and if you haven't heard it yet, it comes from my heart, and I am here to show you the way forward. If you want more peace in your life, sit and breathe. If you want to find the path forward, listen to your heart. If you want to find your way through illness, frustration, addiction, all the things that you're carrying, if you want to remove that burden, I can show you how. I'm proud and I'm passionate about what we do, and I invite you to come in and visit or visit us online. We have many courses online, many meditations online. So when you come in, I look forward to meeting you and sharing this practice, and I guarantee you, if you practice, if you make a commitment, you will see your life change. That is a guarantee. And what you practice grows stronger. So if you take one thing from this video, start asking yourself each and every day, what am I practicing today? And practice what it is you truly want to see more of in your life. I'm Coach Bill, and I look forward to meeting you here at Meditate School of Mindfulness.